Strategy to reach the planet Pluto. Discover the space. Development strategy of the spacecraft designs a system with multiple pushes. Start the process to drive propulsion system for spacecraft. This techniques is important strategy in the case to go a distance plan such as planet Pluto. That strategy is to add systems to give inputs beats to drive system vehicles the same space without the risk of to pushes system separations of some parts of the pushes system in vehicles of space. The strategies is based on alternative system, so the sum of all parts of the system of pushes are subjects immediate change, which arise from the latent states pushes on the vehicles of space. The sequence, which is added operations to pushes vehicles space available, is to develop techniques so is controlled by a pushes and added multiple devices to avoid pushes of any problem error in any system of pushes system. Link more than one system as the same. The multiplicity of the payment system, such as multiple spacecraft, pushes system, nuclear, chemical propulsion system, pushes system, ionic, pushes system using plasma. These systems are used fast way. Why not use several systems together with some of the generated our strong moments avoids the occurrence of the errors in each system. Activations of the potential. Instead, wasting energy in the pushes process, we set up a mechanisms to reuse of energy in all integrated pushes system helps the main propulsion system. Innovation system for Alfarounspe work system ionized oxygen through the development of system that is burned in gases propulsion system which created a strong driving force. This system protects the environment from pollution and take advantage of the atmosphere. Reduces the cosmic distance. This starch stems from that. Just as we can minimize any distance on the ground, we can reduce the distance in space. Example, if we want to go from Palestine to any European country like America, we transpose all of them in what we saw of the results mean that the old modern method so far. If we go on foot will not get so after a very long time. If we go on long animals we also take a long time. If we want to distance car we will also be a long time is not small. If we go by bus will be a period in which we come on to it too good but need some time. If we went by plan which is the faster way so far to connect to another place at times increases means less than the previous. Imagine if we use the space shuttle to move between Statel or the surface of the Earth in the result. The results will be amazing in sense that it would be a little time and distance will be relatively few. But this we use a spacecraft to move between cities to the surface of the Earth. Yes, it can, but to win. 1. Providing the mean for the security of the person. Reduce the cost. 3. Bush system do not consume fuel relativity. 4. And last one, know the importance of using this method. When doing so, it will be easy for a human to be launched into outer space, but to greatest place in space. But what is importance in this comparison? Says Alfarounspe FAROUQ RATEB ALNATSHEH, as process of going to space is using the space shuttles in relativity equivalent to moving from place to place far away. That is, it is a space shuttle or convenience of space, and there are other way did not touch it after. One such mean, as mentions in the theory of Alfarounspe for enforced, if we know of enforced stillness and speeds of transitions, is disappearance in the senses of a human being cannot imagine such a speed, but disappearance is disappearance from the radar in aircraft to whatever around this is system. Adding the speed, it would be matter very important in timely manner. What importance in this matter is in movement of stars is movement is not random in the sense that it is going according to the vast universe, and this is tracks different. Example, to move to Mars from Earth, their path is different from the transition from Earth to Pluto. Therefore, studying the movement of stars and employ them to know list paths of movement move in space. Therefore, you part space of star, and that is specific, systemic, and tracked. This is movement gaining objective of giving cosmic energy. To get to a planet far from Earth, we must understand the path to move in space. There are two choices to move in space. First choice, move in a straight path. Second choice, move in a circular path, warped. Move in the path straight, and this is tracked, are connected with each other, and between each track there is a point of a change in material universe, and each track contains these points, and this points time points that is, there increase the cosmic distance and the tracks, and therefore will hold your breath too long to get the plants, such as plants from the ground. Let us imagine, for example, that there are 5 routes to reach Pluto. The path is between this there are 4 time points later. 5 minus 1, and it's equal 4. In other words, the closer each of these points and zones of separation distance take straight passes, and one in the sense that we have 9 tracked, not only 5. 4 plus 5 and equals 9. This is the process of transition and access to remote area in space. If we move to warp around the cosmic tract and the tract and oval tract is not straight, the matters become as follows. The speed on the mass, whether straight or circular, is a speed regular and constant as universe is system in all its parts flower. Therefore, any mass being without regards to its guide, its containing mass is being constant speed and regular to move, in the sense that the speed on the tracks over is the same speed on the straight path, but that is difference, that distance that is, because the over tracks and one is never the same. 3 tracks straight constant velocities due to the extensions of such points for -1 and equal to 3. Resulting in 3 points, we have any 3 paths. But passes will be straight passes, 0 tracking, resulting from movement of the sun to be 0 where we tracked more effectively, so that the abilities to move up that Tremon this speed because of sun energy. But when the sun single tracks are more straight counter force due to the sun's gaining power and university of the explains the extensions of relationship between the suns and the entire universe because it is cosmic centers. And when sun passes orbit, thus operations like a traffic policeman which allow us to pass but also stop the movement of moment. When 0 movement of the sun and imagine that the traffic officer to be called continuous moving along the circular path as when the vertical movement of the suns may be. Traffic policeman stops the movements and the movement became movements towards the suns and antithesis idea to bring this suspicious movement of the sun. Traffic policeman. Finally, the last time point is the straight passes or passes of any movement energy of the universe, and the sun's returned by process accurate. According the movement of the sun's vertical have this is points in the process of movement counter. The sense is that if you move a spacecraft within this passes along the track, straight process like swimming against the current is not possible for us to get time and little to opposite sides from the sea. The extensions counter current and are difficult to do so, and time requires a long time because the group according to the anti-cosmic gain are not random, and if we look at the wind also applies the same rules of cosmic. The universe is like whole when all work for a specific purpose accordance with a specific system and whole subject with cosmic Guinean indicated significance as the cosmic imperative creation and extension. Agree circulation motion to be a process of moving spaces more efficient and more accurate must be worked so that the circuit tracked are integrated with the other circulation paths. This is due to the relative compatibility is important in the transition because of the movement passes within the circular smooth, incomplete and not comparing series lead and lead ultimately to changes the actual trend. For the study the movement in the dimension of universe truth is the studies of complementary dimension of the nice bow did not come out of the thin air, and this is cannot understanding this process without knowing the dimensions of excess. Tracking the movement of comparing with happens. There are two passes between each circular in the same direction relativity straight path, and the straight path contains more than one point in time later. There is a circular path between the passes and the circular any differences in direction of relativity rate late points in time only one. Special planning and the physical change of thoughts. The basic of a human interaction with the space based on the basis of cognition and perception and belief is a form of thinking. I am thinking if I thinking the ultimate thing is the theory of knowledge. The mindful recipe is not negative thinking. All things we touch is part of a global system. We cannot imagine its dimension accuracies to not try to touch, but you can think of them, and this is concept. Self perceptions cannot be sentenced to perfections and accuracy, and also cannot neglect human fabricated all the things that lead them to destruction, but of course part of the accuracy of this is universe cannot be for persons to carry with idea back nature of nature, not for nature of what it breathed and living on it. Intellection freedom is intellectual freedom from direct, but imagines what and why we speak. I release that those words complete the bravest levels of perceptions in understanding perception, living perception. The first level virtual perception, obviously, before you what you feel in the accuracy of system in the universe, and second level the investigation perceptions can imagine the meaning more fully in thinking about this is concepts. I know I am the universe accurate in this creation of when out understand I can be in high thinking and slightly higher machines. The question is how the universe accurately. For example, you will receive answers from nature or to you and do any time to see the sky, how the hopes and not there were the columns to see around you into space and earth and creation and creature. Third level is reflection of thinking, which stage is the most important, and the needs be thinking is to consider machines perception thinking and questioning it. Universe of thinking and creation of the earth and human equation. A lot of things around us that sometimes we do not find the explanation in more often than not imagine it found out of my ability and not think about it, but it's the change in our view of life and universe spice and see what is different. Space issue. See the accuracy of universe around us is a link. My picture lead us a question, and when to mediate when knowledge positive on the accuracy of the universe list, the ability of divine, we reach to the end of this is we question, and to reach stability and measure the presence of millions of link audio and sensory in the universe at large. Research shows that we for the study of space and humanity that recognizes the importance of the ratio of human thinking and the feeling of internal thinking, not of mind only, but of thoughts impossible. And the theory of fixed dimension show Alfarounspe showed space and the universe is therefore important to understand dimension of this theory. Set up in mediation space, and the study of cosmic interaction should be addressed to cases of temporal and spatial. Case time are tracked of cosmic moving through the imagery free of analog keyplane with stars and moving of the suns at the same time. This method makes the tract of cosmic knowledge and knowledge of the cosmic automatically lead to raising the status of spatial. Case of spatial case study a cosmic sliver which determines the relative direction. Each passage is determined by the relative direction through the knowledge of common links between the situation, time, and dark matter which fulfill the space. Establishment of mobile satellite terminals are the stations we can put it on one of the planets of solar system by which we can develop the descendant of the transfer space and enable us to move to other planets in spaces. They're on the grounding of so-called fuel station for cars, and imagine with me if there is only one stop for all cars or the plants, what happened? Thus, we are processed from one area to another on the ground must refuel after all the distance. But what is the point of putting this matter? Mobile station like fuel station, what we use for the fuel on the ground, and this station are mobile satellite station to move from planet to another in space. The more station in space and briefly the process and move them to another planet in the space, and we are closer to reaching the maximum of the solar system planets such as Pluto or any other planets in other space. Access the planets Pluto mean for detecting the stages of formation and the universe were not detected for us, but the relativity of the universe and the changes space science at the present time on the future. The important access to this plans to end the area of aircraft, but and end the area of the space shuttle. As this shift technology become, the world has evolved from and mean transport space. This is not fiction but reality. After the fact of our existence, we humans are aware of the fact that space is cultural perception, and culture means the imagine it out of the narrow part of the human mind in something, but to live future life in our minds and our hearts before we live in realistic situations presents temporary or temporary spatial future emergence. What if moved from Mars to Pluto will be closer to the planet's distance from going to him of land? The form of means of transport to future space. What are the means of transport after the space shuttle? So, in the future, that we can move through the circulatory pathway and turn around space, for the spacecraft must proved by the senses of this movement to move in a straight line, and along the straight passes we have proved that it will not fast in space relativity. For this is we need a vehicle moving any rotational movement of moving tracks and warp p processes. If we are not surround streets on the ground completely differently if we are on the road on the streets. Hence the transition from stage moving in states whirling and the transition importance to get to land to Pluto.